So last year, we reached out to the community and asked, made available to people or told people, tried to promote the damaged and destroyed property program, which allows people to file for a decrease in their value as a result of a natural disaster or a fire or a flood, whatever. It allows people to do that. Again, we wanted to make sure that people who had been impacted by the storm were aware of that and took advantage of that program. We didn't think anyone should have to pay the full value, pay taxes on the full value of their home if their home had been destroyed or significantly damaged. So we had about 1,200 parcels that did file for that decrease, lowered values by about a little more than $46 million for last year. That went into effect for the 2019 tax year, for this tax cycle. But in the course of doing the reval, we identified another $35 million reduction that we anticipate taking place in 2020. So when it's all said and done, the tornado's impact on this community has been about a little more than $81 million in lost property value. About 2,600 total parcels, we believe, lost some value as a result of the tornadoes. So that means for this year, for the 2020 reval, we're reducing value on an additional 1,400 parcels. That's spread across 10 subdivisions. We'll see some value reduction as a result of the tornado when that's added into the numbers we're releasing today. It will result in a revenue loss of about $1.3 million. So the total revenue loss as a result of the tornado to the jurisdictions that were impacted is about $3 million. Again, from last year's adjustment and this year's adjustment, it's about a $3 million loss in revenue. I said 10 subdivisions lost value, but 5 of these subdivisions is where most of the loss occurred. Again, this continues the trend that we saw last year. The 3 subdivisions seeing the most loss, 2 in particular, Harrison Township, Trotwood, was where most of the damage, again, it's no surprise, most of the damage occurred there. Dayton, to be followed by Dayton, and then Butler Township. Between these 5 subdivisions, 90% of the loss that we are picking up in the 2020 reval occurred in these 5 subdivisions. And again, that will be added into these totals later. In terms of next steps, we will be mailing notices to property owners as we have in the past. We will be mailing notices of their tentative new values this week, probably towards the end of this week. We will be offering them the opportunity to discuss their value with us. As we have in the past, as you know, in the past we would have remote sites all around the county. I think 3 years ago we were at 15 different locations around the county, where we made it try to make ourselves as accessible as possible to people if they wanted to meet and to talk with us. Again, due to the pandemic, we can't do that this year. We don't feel comfortable doing that this year. So all of our informal reviews will be held through a format similar to this via Zoom during August and September. That's not the way I prefer to do it. I would prefer to do it in person, but we'll see. I don't know. We may find that this is more accessible. People are starting to get more and more used to this, I think. So we may find that this makes ourselves even more accessible. We'll see. But this is one of the things one of the reasons I wanted a delay is because I didn't feel like we could be as effective reaching out in the community during the pandemic as we have in the past. But again, we are going to do the very best we can and try to reach people as best we can virtually. So when they get their notice, there's the phone number there, our property owner hotline, 937-225-5096. They will be instructed. They want to talk with one of our appraisers and have a one-on-one conversation. They'll do that and call that number. We'll have a phone bank operating here in the auditor's office, and people will schedule where they can get scheduled to have this informal review We expect to do that throughout August and September. So once we get through that process, we add in the new construction, we get the CAUV values, we add in the net effect of the tornadoes. That we'll finalize values towards the end of the year and resubmit our abstract to the Department of Taxation, and then we'll be looking forward to their decision to finalize. These values then will be used to for next year's tax year and be used to compute property taxes going forward. Again, it's been a difficult project for a lot of reasons, and it's been difficult to get us to this point. But we're pretty confident in the work that we've done, and we know it's going to be challenging to interact with the public. We think it's important that we have the opportunities to interact with the public, to interact with all of you. And so going forward, if there are jurisdictions that want us to meet with your council or your trustees or have a work session, we can go over in greater detail some of what we're seeing. We want to provide that to you. And so we have some, of course, a lot of information, a lot of data. And so we're more than willing to meet with folks to go over the data that we have. Let me say this too. Normally at one of these sessions, we would provide to you a packet of information. Since we're not all together, we do have a lot of information that we're going to make available to you in terms of value changes and for each jurisdiction. So we do have those types of handouts. They will be available to you on our hub. Most of you are used to working with us, or your finance people are used to downloading information from our hub. And so we have a number of charts and tables that detail some of these changes and what we're seeing by jurisdiction. That is available to you on the hub. And of course, we'll be probably posting more as going on, including revenue estimates and those types of things. That concludes my presentation. And I was hoping to get through all of that in an hour, and I think I've been pretty successful. Kevin, do we have questions or anything from anyone?
I haven't seen any questions in the chat at all.
Okay. Anybody,
Yeah.
questions at this point? It's a lot of data, a lot of information. Again, there'll be additional things posted to the hub, and so that you can access that. And moving forward, if you have questions or issues that you would like us to meet with you or your council or your board of trustees, we're more than willing to do that. Just reach out to us. You can reach out to Kevin. You can reach out to Larry Hartlob or Gloria Butler. Those folks that you work with on a regular basis, Doug Trout, you work with on a regular basis. Just reach out to us, and we'll be more than willing to accommodate you in whatever way we can. Again, we appreciate you joining us today, and look forward to working with you in the future as we implement the rest of this process going forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, I got a lot of cherry.